Hey everybody, Alex Miller at Capnion here. I think right now the really exciting data privacy action on planet Earth is in Kenya, and I'd like to talk to you about some events of last week that occurred there. By the way, I would like to apologize in advance for anything I may mispronounce during the creation of this video. So last week, Kenya's High Court declared Huduma Namba, which is a relatively new national identification card program, to be illegal relative to Kenya's 2019 Data Protection Act. What happens now is that the government has been ordered to conduct a data privacy impact assessment on that program before continuing the rollout, which has actually been in progress for about a year now. And I'll talk in a second. There's also a lot of conflict around whether the government has behaved appropriately with these kind of assessments in the past. So to rewind a little in time, what is Huduma Namba? It's a biometrics processing and national identification card program. Huduma Namba means service number in Swahili. So the idea is that you have biometric data in the form of a facial image and all 10 of your fingerprints for both your hands processed and stored electronically in a government database, and in exchange you get this national ID card that you use to access government services. So this was rolled out starting a year ago, and millions of people had been enrolled by mid-May. And the High Court decided that the things the government did to make sure that this data was being handled appropriately and people's data privacy was maintained were not done appropriately, and they need to do them now. So I think a really interesting intersection on this particular program has been around minority identity in Kenya and kind of who opposes the law and why. So as I mentioned, there have been a lot of concerns and accusations that really this data privacy impact assessment should have occurred earlier, that the government was flouting the law. And in particular, one entity that's opposing what's been done so far is the Nubian Rights Forum, which is a group that advocates for the rights of the Nubian ethnic identity in Kenya, along kind of what appear to be very similar grounds that come up around similar issues in the United States, where will this group kind of not end up enrolled in this program appropriately? Will this data be used for discrimination? I think it's a lot of people can imagine a lot of things that can go wrong, I think. So, and just by way of numbers, I saw that 11.2 million people have been processed by this program so far. Only 6.5 million people have picked up their cards. So there's a lot of interesting questions. And I'm not an expert on life in Kenya by any means, but there's a lot of interesting questions about who are the 6.5 million people that picked up their cards, and how is that going to affect their lives going forward one way or another. So maybe more on this story coming. I think this is like a really exciting and hopefully in the end wholesome, but very much in progress test case of a lot of similar things that we're dealing with in the rest of the world. And if you live in Kenya, this is old news to you. If you're in the United States, I think this is a good story to watch that you might not encounter on your own.